He's unbeaten in his last 9 fights and reckoned victory tonight against Wayne Harris, national champion of Guyana, would set him on his way to a shot at the world crown. Our commentators again, Alan Minter and Jim Rosenthal.
Chris Pyatt's given away 6 inches to the Guyanan champion, but he wants to get the job done quickly, and if anyone deserves a world title shot soon, it is Chris Pyatt, highly ranked by all the boxing organisations, but politics sadly mean that world title shot has been delayed, so it's marking time for him, and he's in terrific condition, that condition honed by Ken Squires, the man who looked after Tony Sidson so well in the Leicester area. But up against a fellow who comes with a reputation of a good jab, but he looks awfully lean and string-beany to me, and Pyatt, such an aggressive and hurtful puncher when he gets going, will expect to have too much power for him. But we'll have to wait and see. We haven't seen Wayne Harris in Europe before. Only beaten twice. He's given away as much as 2 stone in some of his fights, but has never faced anyone of the caliber of Chris Pyatt, the punching power of Pyatt. He lost his European title to Gianfranco Rossi, and he would dearly love a shot at Rossi's world title, the IBF champion. Rossi making a defence very shortly against the Australian Troy Waters soon, and surely that's the man that Pyatt wants above all. Alan Minter, I noticed that Pyatt before the fight had a little grin when he looked at the shape of Wayne Harris, but he's obviously decided to take a look at him before he explodes.
Yeah, you know, what I'd like to see Chris Pyatt do, Jim, although he's taken his time, is to go bend to the body and fire to the head, which he's just done then. But Harris looks very, very menacing. I mean, he's long, but very accurate.
I just feel that when Pyatt does bend at the legs and start throwing those bombs, he's going to have a little bit too much for Wayne Harris, especially down in the body area. Minute to go, round 1. And Pyatt shoves him off almost contemptuously there. A very tough fight in this same arena against an Argentine who hadn't been stopped before. The Argentine Daniel Dominguez, and Pyatt had to work very hard to stop him in the 10th round. His timing was a bit awry that night, and a bit awry there as well, a bit wild, as Pyatt gets rid of the adrenaline that's bubbling up inside him.
That's a nice body shot there, Jim, by Pyatt. I mean, that's what he's got to do, throw plenty of punches to the body, drop Harris's hands and whack him straight on the chin.
Right, those are the instructions. Tougher for Pyatt to carry out. And those long arms of Wayne Harris, and the jab looks to have taken him through the first of a scheduled 10-rounder. So those of us who expected a quick night's work for Pyatt will have to wait a little longer. A really classy fighter, though, Chris Pyatt, highly ranked in all the various boxing organisations and never been fitter. Another, what he would term a bread and butter fight this, I suppose, as he waits for a shot at the world title. And when you see the 1 and 2 of the fighters who have been given shots at world titles, Pyatt must be really frustrated. There's Wayne Harris, 15 out of 17. He's won just a couple of defeats, and he's held the light middleweight and the middleweight titles of Guyana. And the look on Pyatt's face underlines the fact that he means business. So Chris Pyatt's had a look at this string-bean character. Hasn't got through to him yet. He's been kept at bay by a pretty accurate jab. Pyatt just a couple of pounds heavier, in fact, than Harris. 11-2 compared to 11 stone. And he's got to get inside and make his power pay.
He's got a nice jab, Harris, but he tends to lack power, which is giving Chris Pyatt the opportunity of pressuring in close and throwing his own bombs to the body.
Pyatt can surely never afford a fighter of this shape, and it's going to take him a bit of time to fathom things out. But it's downstairs where he's likely to do the damage, and he's doing the damage now in this second round. It's a good flurry from Pyatt, and all the work he's done in those forests, chopping wood and running and things like that. He looks terrifically strong at this weight, and he's bullying his way really through Harris's jab in this second round. But Harris has been a calm and composed figure throughout his stay in this country, and is determined not to go quickly. But his long legs wobbled just above us then. I'm sure I saw the knee buckle. And these are torrid moments for the Guyanan, the man from Guyana. And Pyatt will not let him go. Great onslaught this from the man from Leicester. He's got him pinned on the ropes, and he just will not let him off. And he's holding the ropes there, and he can't do that. Richie Davies, the referee, shakes them apart, and at last Harris has room for a breather. But that was a terrific sustained onslaught, Alan.
That was a lovely round of flurry of punches from Pyatt. I mean, this is the only thing he can do, Jim, because he can't out-jab Harris or out-box him. He's got to work in close and bang away to the body all the time.
And he's working him over on the far side of the ring now. He really got to him just above us a few seconds ago, and now the mugging's taking place on the far side. But Harris coming back with a little counter. And he's going to ensnare him in those long arms and try and make things awkward for Pyatt. But really, when he gets in close, Pyatt is working him over good and proper. So far, Harris has shown nothing that can hurt Pyatt, I'd have to say. Doubling up the left hook so well there, Pyatt.
Yeah, I mean, Harris, to me, just threw a little jab there, a little left hook, but no power at all, Jim, as though he's just there to make the numbers up.
Just a little bit of afters as Pyatt stood his ground to walk back to his corner. Chrissy Pyatt, well, not too far away from here, in fact, in Islington in North London, but he spent most of his career in Leicester.
Started putting around the side, they put him there, beautiful. Yeah. Good guy.
Well, there was a lot of good moments from Pyatt in that second round, but this, I think we're going to see here the shot that really wobbled Wayne Harris. And the leg just went from under him. It was behind the head, and perhaps it might just have been more of a slip. But throughout the round, really, Pyatt kept the pressure on. And he will surely look to finish things quickly now. Out they come for the third. And Chris Pyatt, so keen to get a shot at the world title, has an awkward opponent, and he's getting through well. He got through with an overhand right. Fair to say that Harris absorbed that punch pretty well.
Yeah, he stays very, very cool under pressure, Harris. You know, I don't think he's got a great deal to offer, just that he's very long and very awkward. But he, you know, when he takes a punch on the chin, he's still there and doesn't sort of back off. So he looks durable.
Well, it was 2.5 years ago that Pyatt went into a European title fight against the Italian Rossi in what he accepts was the worst shape of his career, and he lost that fight. But no one has stayed the distance with him. Only one man, I should say, has stayed the distance with him since then. So he's got a habit of ending things inside the distance, and he must feel he's got the capabilities of doing just that here. 2 low blows there. I thought that the referee perhaps just didn't pick up, Alan.
Yeah, they were definitely low, just under the waistband. But all due respects to Harris, you know, not once has he grinched in his face when he's taken a body shot. Obviously, he's used to being hit to the body.
And the gum shield's out now, and he's down just above us. And the referee's having him box on. He's in trouble, though. His gum shield's out, and in comes Pyatt looking for a quick finish in the third. The punches are coming from all angles. What a sustained attack. Something has got to come back from Harris. He's got himself away from the ropes. He's looking very apprehensive on the far corner. And Pyatt literally bundled him out. It was a shoulder challenge that, and no count there, just in his eagerness to get to him. Box on, says referee Davis. In comes Pyatt. It's all one-way stuff now. Surely he can't survive, and he can't. And Pyatt has stopped him with a minute to go in the third with a splendid display of sustained aggression. Almost frightening. And Pyatt has done all that can be asked of him. And now I'm sure that he and the man who trains him so well, Ken Squires, will be asking, well, surely I've got to get a world title shot soon. He was awkward, Harris. He had an awkward jab. He had very little to hurt him. But Pyatt looked at him in the first, roughed him up badly in the second, and literally dismantled him in the third. Splendid performance from Chris Pyatt. And a game challenge from Harris, but in all honesty, he had very little chance. And Alan, here's the punch that started it right at the start of the round.
Yeah, here we go now. The Harris flicks out a nice little jab, but with Chris Pyatt bobbing and weaving, just waiting for the big one. Pushed him off. There we go. Just missed the chin. Wobbled him. Done what he had to do right, Chris Pyatt. Very strong.
The gum shield came flying out there, Alan, didn't it? And really, Harris looked so apprehensive after that. That wasn't a punch that he bundled him through the ropes and no count was made. But Harris was pretty distressed when he hauled himself back in. And Pyatt just came at him again. The jab was useless. He couldn't keep him at bay. And an absolute torrent of punches. And in the end, referee Davis said, that was enough.